Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Nailing the Hotness, or you can call me Mikey if you will. And today I'm going to talk about Sonic P06 or Project 06. It's a fan remaster of the infamous Sonic 06, which was supposed to reboot the franchise, but it went terribly wrong. And it became one of the most hated video games in the Sonic franchise. Which, in my opinion, it was overhated, but it did get the hate that it deserves at a certain extent. Because, to me, I think Sonic 06 wasn't as bad because this game did have potential. But it's still bad. But I am one of those Sonic fans who saw the potential in this game, and it's not completely bad. Even though the glitches and the bugs can get really annoying at times, and the miscellaneous story, but I could see the potential in this game and what it was trying to accomplish. If Sega would have really took their time, this could have been an official Sonic Adventure 3 in my opinion. But I don't see that happening anytime soon because Sega is kind of too scared to pull something like that off again. And I think they should stop listening to critics and fans sometimes because it doesn't get them anywhere. And plus, I kind of miss the times where Sega took risks. I don't mind them experimenting with Sonic, and that's what makes Sonic unique and sometimes superior compared to Mario. This game is not a masterpiece in any means, but it could have been one of the most solid Sonic games in history if they took their time. But luckily Chaos X came through and made this out of pure passion for the Sonic franchise. Even though it's not official, it will be a real remaster in my heart compared to Sonic Colors Ultimate. Don't get me wrong, I like Sonic Colors, but I hate the remaster, and I have reacted to it. And let's just say that did not age well at all. Sometimes it's just best to not have high expectations when it comes to having stuff for Sonic sometimes. I know I might just sound like just some being sad, but as of recent years, Sonic hasn't had the best years, but we did get Sonic Frontiers, which is, I'm gonna be honest, it's not that good as how people say it is. I played it myself. It could use some work. I'm just hoping the DLC could expand the story a little bit and probably polish it, because it really doesn't work right. That's just me, but I might get hated because of it. But it's all good. People have different opinions. But without further ado, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why I like Sonic P06. For one, I love the graphics in this game, and I'm kind of spoiled by new gen graphics at this point. But I will give them a pass since it was 2006 and they were still experimenting with graphics. But I'm gonna just say this, the graphics were downright horrendous in my opinion. But there is some charm to some old school graphics. I'm not gonna lie about that. But this game when it comes to the graphics, had a major glow up. Like, The character models look so good, and it's more polished than Retail '06, and it kind of reminds me how they polished the character models in Sonic Unleashed. But I kind of wish this was how Sonic looked in the original game, and the graphics just made him feel and look more expressive than its original counterpart. But we, life is full of disappointment, guys. That's all I can say. Also, I like the fact that Chaos X had also put in-game cutscenes, which is not present in the original game, and it's completely original and unique. And it just makes them have better interactions than it is in Retail, which feel really stale, and it just felt just bland. The cutscenes in the original game were just blatantly bad, except the CGI cutscenes, because it looked like they put more effort in the CGI cutscenes than the actual in-game cutscenes, which is really kind of funny to me. But I don't know what to say though, but if Chaos X can make the cutscenes, and if he continues to finish the silver release, because I would really much appreciate it, because I would, this would be a great way to replace the original game. And if it was actually made by Sega, it would have made a lot more money than the original game. But I've learned we all can't all have nice things. Now, could we? Now, the way they animated it, and I think it was multiple people, I may be wrong. Somebody in the comments you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like the cutscenes, in-game cutscenes, should have been in the original game, but it goes to show how sometimes fans can be a lot more creative than the creators themselves, and that's kind of sad when you think about it. But that's not always the case. But what I would want to see in the silver release is Chaos could add some extra in-game cutscenes to some of the story campaigns for all the other characters. For example, some more in Sonic's story and Shadows, but I can't be really begging. And plus, it's best if Chaos go by his own pace, and he makes his project his own way. It's his, so who am I to tell? One thing we can also appreciate is how well the shadow movement is for the characters. Like, I feel like I may be wrong, but the shadow trackings to the characters just did not look right in the vanilla version of the game. But I may be wrong, but that's just my opinion. If this stuff was on the Xbox Series S and X, I'm pretty sure it would have ran way smoother than if it looked like this on the Xbox 360 as well. Then fans would have loved it even more. But again, like I said, life is full of disappointment, and everything was ruined because of that stupid deadline. And this is going to be the one and only time I'm going to say that Sega should have did what Nintendo did by just completely delaying the game and taking their time instead of just rushing their developers. The controls in Sonic P06 is a lot better compared to retail Sonic 06 because in the original game it was unbearable to even control them, and the homing attack and just moving was so slow and unresponsive sometimes, most of the times. But I've gotten used to it, but it still doesn't make up for how bad the controls are. But it's not as bad as other games I play, like Kid Icarus and Metal Gear Solid 3. And those controls to me is a lot worse than Sonic 06. But yeah, that's pretty much what I can think of right now. But the controls had was one of Sonic 06's biggest flaws, and which was one of the reasons why people hate it, especially in the Mach speed stages or sections, because the Mach speed sections in retail is hard for no reason, which wasn't intentional. It's just because of the glitches. You go way too fast, and there will be just like invisible things to get hit by, or something about the hitbox is just way off, and you get hit by something random. And like the littlest thing you hit, you can end up getting killed, or you can just end up losing all your rings. Like, I hated the Mach speed sections of Sonic 06, and it just made me want to rip my hair out. But I gotten used to it, but it's still bad. But compared to Vanilla 06, Project 06's controls is a lot better and a lot faster, because in the original your reactions time can be really slow, and that completely contradicts everything that Sonic is supposed to be. He's supposed to be a fast type platforming, but it just does not work like that. But P06 had fixed the reaction time and made it a lot faster, even though sometimes I do like to go slow at times, but not this slow, which is completely terrible. But overall, I think P06 had broke that curse from its original counterpart and just made it similar to how it is in the adventure games, because I mean that's where most of the spin dash momentum is based off of, which is not that much of a problem, but because I actually had some fun with the Sonic Adventure mechanics when I played Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, which in retrospect, or I don't know about retrospect, but in other words, it's a major improvement, and which the vanilla version lacked so much. It was kind of pathetic, especially how the characters would get stuck on the walls like Knuckles and Rouge, which was the most annoying bug in the game. Next to Sonic standing on walls, when he goes up slopes, which makes no sense in any way, but the game wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for those bugs. But this game just completely fixed that flaw. Alright. The extras are basically some stuff in the menus and some stuff were added into the game that were either scrapped or just didn't make it into the final cut because it out of rush development. But some of the stuff was actually pretty cool, and I kind of wish it did make the cut in Retail 06, because I mean it would have made it a lot better and more bearable. But most of them were voice lines, and they had initially had Supersonic in this game, but they had cut for obvious reasons, I guess. But Supersonic works pretty good in this game, and I kind of wish he was playable in the actual levels, but I guess the last story would count, I guess. One other cool thing about the extras is basically you can choose all types of animations you would want, like the E3 version, or like the prototype of Sonic 06, and you can choose different play styles, or physics, like Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure 1, 2. I think retail is an option as well. I'm not really sure because I didn't really try the retail option, but it's pretty cool that you can choose different types of physics, because the physics in Retail 06 is not good, and I set that in controls. But the extras, and also in the extras, they got some uncut music and added some extras that didn't even make the cut either, like some unused audios, unused I think sprites as well, or just animation styles. And he added some new things as well, like how Shadow can remove his inhibitor rings, and Sonic can go super, and Tails has a new attack. He can use his tails to his advantage, like called Tail Swipe. I think that's what it's called. And the Knuckles have better range when it comes to his combat. Also, Omega has some major upgrades when it comes to his arson. Like, he can now shoot enemies in the first person point of view. Like in the retail, all he can do was snipe and just try. You have to get in the enemy's hitbox just to hurt them, which is really whack. And was honestly one of the worst characters in the original 06 to play as. Next to Amy,
I'm sorry to Amy, but she was just as slow as Silver in the retail. But I hope in the Silver release she can be at least a lot faster, and she has better hit range with her hammer and everything. Cause, but like I was talking about, Omega has like way better range with when it comes to him shooting and using like I think it's the shotgun arm. I'm not sure how. And after this video, I'm gonna completely check the manuals and see what's the arsons, the skill names. Sorry,
I am really stumbling my words, but yeah, I'm gonna check the manuals to see what's the whole category of attacks and new moves that the characters have. But it's, yeah, I can go on about all the new stuff that I like about PO6 or Project 06. I think Project 06 rolls off the tongue better because just basically adding an extra P in of for 06. So I guess but anyway, the one thing I like the most now is most definitely how they added songs you could not access on the original vanilla 06. And I always wanted to listen to some of the music, but all it had was just Shadow's, Sonic's theme, Silver's theme, and even Elise. Cause I'm gonna be real, I never liked it Princess Elise. If anything, I think Blaze should have took that role. You know, cause Soliana, get it. And I think Mephiles does a really good job as a villain. So that's the one thing I wouldn't change a thing about Sonic 06. Otherwise, the story, keep the moment between Shadow and Silver, but change the whole romance thing between Sonic and Elise, or just don't have no romance plot at all, and I'll just remove Elise from the story, because humans in Sonic games just don't work. That might be just me, but I just feel like humans just don't work. Well, Maria, she's worth the exception because she didn't have that big of a role in Sonic Adventure 2. And she was not really that important. But they gave Elise way too much screen time, which the more screen time than the actual main character. And the whole thing between Blaze being from another timeline instead of another dimension just does not make sense to me. Same with the whole thing of her being from the future and being a mentor figure to Silver. Even though it's not that bad, but I just don't feel like it made that much sense. And they should have stuck with her just coming from another dimension from Sonic Rush. But those are just all my opinions. I'm not completely right, but I'm not completely wrong. Well, that's all I had to say about all things considering Project 06. If you have any opinions about Project 06, let me know in the comments. Before this video ends, I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to be changing my YouTube name to Naylin the Hotness. And this video had took me 5 hours to edit. And I appreciate everything you guys have done, and you got me nearly to 200 subscribers. I'll see you next time for another video. Bye.